Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner, and today we have Muriel Buckner with us. She's a female entrepreneur empowerment coach. So welcome to the show, Muriel.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Of course, I am too. Thanks for coming on. And we'll dive right in. So the first question I have for you is, what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
This is a recent one for me. My past romantic relationships were manifestations of my childhood chaos that led me to try to fix my partners in a way of trying to fix my mom. But I really just needed to fix myself and heal myself from the trauma of my childhood so that I would stop that cycle of bringing in the people who are like my mother, so that I would stop trying to rescue them and fix them.
That's huge. Thank you for sharing that. And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
I started off as a massage therapist. I've been a healer for over 20 years, and I feel that massage has been the field for me to play in business. And what the universe was trying to get me to do was see that I'm a coach and a healer, and massage is just one of the tools to help people start their self-awareness journey and healing themselves and ultimately their inner child trauma.
And what's your best piece of overall business advice? So not necessarily like industry specific.
Network to build a board of supervisors. And I don't mean like an actual board of supervisors, but to build confidants that you can bounce things off of, and they can directly go, hey, that's not in line with what you say you're trying to do, or that's awesome. Let's find ways to make that happen. So that you can kind of like a mastermind to some way, so that you can keep accountable and to your long-term goals.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Communication therapy, ASAP. Learn how to be a whole human and come from a place of love instead of a place of reaction from pain.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
Leverage is really, what did I say? Self-awareness and confidence in being able to do what's best for oneself while blocking other people's projections of pain and fear onto you that's trying to keep you small.
And what's the best book you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
You have to go with the cliche of think and grow rich. It really opened up my mind in the sense of leverage is really what you need to get to financial freedom, and networking and having multiple things to go to get rich instead of just going the typical route was whoa for me.
Definitely. Yeah. That book opened it up for me as well. So don't worry about saying that one. That one's huge. And what's your favorite quote and why?
So this is my personal quote. It said, I'm going to try to bleep myself while I say this. The first step to not giving an F is taking a step towards making your heart sing and away from what others BS.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your wisdom with us. The last question I have for you is, where is the best place for people to find you online?
The best place to find me online, I am on all social media as Circle Light. Facebook is Buckner Muriel. I have two profiles because I grew up and did college in San Francisco, which is not very productive in being in San Diego. So I have two profiles. The one I'm on the most is Buckner Muriel, or Circle Light on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or all those other places.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on again. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.